Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visite suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Chương trình của chúng tôi cung ứng nhiều ngôn ngữ. Xin xem suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Of the 10 million users within vSafe, 7.7% of them had to seek medical care after vaccination. That is an incredibly high percentage, it appears to me.
Vegan, the final solution to steer away from the pandemic spiral, part 2 of 4. Continue watching to find out more.
Honestly, ever since I found this way of eating, I have endless amounts of energy. I can go all day, and after it all, I never find myself getting tired. No matter what kind of shows I have done or workouts I do on top of it, I still have to force myself to sleep at night. Travis Barker, vegan, on vegan diet.
Tanishganimdan Khusanman means nice to meet you in Uzbek, the official language of Uzbekistan. Compassionate viewers, my name is Otabek. The faithful people of Uzbekistan pray that the peaceful vegan lifestyle brings bliss and calmness to your life and people around the globe. Welcome to our show, Vegan, the final solution to steer away from the pandemic spiral, part 2 of 4. In last week's episode, we talked about why achieving herd immunity for COVID-19 is unlikely and the urgency of the global adoption of the compassionate vegan diet to break the vicious cycle of emerging zoonotic diseases. Today, we will discuss some worrisome side effects of different COVID vaccines and why they should not be seen as the solution to stop the pandemic. According to the Bloomberg Vaccine Tracker, dated as of September 28, 2022, more than 12.7 billion doses of COVID-19 vaccines have been administered across 184 countries. It's estimated that around 7.07 million jabs are given into arms per day. The 5 major COVID-19 vaccines include Moderna, Pfizer-BioNTech, Johnson & Johnson, or Janssen, Oxford AstraZeneca, and Novavax. These vaccines are classified into 3 categories, which are mRNA, adenovirus vector, and protein adjuvant. Acute myocarditis, or inflammation of the heart muscle, has seen a substantial rise in prevalence with the spread of SARS-CoV-2, the virus that causes COVID-19. The pathogen works by attaching its spike proteins to the ACE2 receptors on the surface of human cells. Hence, organs with ACE2 receptors on their cells' surfaces are susceptible to the virus. Because cells in the lungs, arteries, Heart, kidneys, and intestines express ACE2 receptors. This may explain why the SARS-CoV-2 virus can have such a prevalent impact on multiple organs. This is further supported by a literature study, which stated that SARS-CoV-2 viral particles were found in heart tissue samples from deceased COVID-19 patients during autopsies. Blood clots are one of the hallmarks of COVID-19 and can lead to life-threatening conditions, including pulmonary embolism, stroke, and sudden death. A pulmonary embolism is a condition when blood clots block the arteries in the lungs, and this can stop blood from traveling to the lungs. It has serious consequences and creates symptoms, such as shortness of breath, chest pain, and cough, that are commonly seen in affected persons. Experts have found that the spike proteins of the COVID virus can alter the structure of blood clots, making them much tougher to be broken down naturally. Besides helping the virus to enter human cells, the spike proteins of the coronavirus also promote cell growth signaling in lung vascular cells. This then can cause the vascular walls in the lungs to thicken and increases the heart's workload to pump the blood through narrowed passages. Eventually, this predisposes the patients to a fatal disease called pulmonary arterial hypertension. Now here comes an important question. If the spike proteins of the SARS-CoV-2 virus heighten a person's risk for blood clots and heart inflammation, wouldn't a vaccine cause long-term health consequences by prompting the body to make the same protein? Surprisingly, apart from the common side effects, such as injection site pain, fatigue, headache, and fever, seen with most COVID-19 vaccines, life-threatening conditions of blood clotting disorders and heart inflammation also happen to people receiving COVID inoculations. Janssen and the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccines, which utilize the adenovirus vector technology, share similar blood clotting side effects. The production of spike proteins mimics the invasion of the actual coronavirus, just like putting on a rehearsal for our body to react faster to a real COVID infection. The spike proteins trigger the immune system to make specific antibodies. Due to the pandemic and surging cases of infections in the United States, several vaccines were granted Emergency Use Authorization, or EUA, by the US Food and Drug Administration, or FDA. This means that, due to a public health emergency, they did not undergo the normal FDA testing process that can take years. Shortly after receiving the EUA, the FDA and the US Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, or CDC, recommended a pause in the use of the Janssen vaccine to investigate 6 reported cases of thrombocytopenia syndrome, or TTS, which is a combination of potentially life-threatening blood clots and a low level of blood platelets. This was done to ensure that healthcare providers were informed of potential adverse effects. In an updated report of TTS cases received by the US government's Vaccine Safety Reporting System through March 18, 2022, there were 60 confirmed cases, including 9 fatal instances. Considering the long-term health consequences and a high death rate from TTS, the FDA limited the use of the vaccine on May 5, 2022, to those in the US 18 years of age and older when alternative brands of vaccines cannot be obtained. More than a dozen nations have halted use of AstraZeneca's vaccine due to blood clotting concerns, including Denmark, France, Germany, Ireland, Iceland, Norway, and Sweden. According to the CDC, Guillain-Barré syndrome, or GBS, is also observed in people who have received the Janssen vaccine. GBS is a rare disorder where the immune system mistakenly attacks the body's own myelin sheath, which is an insulating layer wrapping the nerve cells. The sheath facilitates the transmission of electrical impulses. When nerves are damaged, this can consequently lead to muscle weakness and sometimes paralysis. Based on recent analytical data from the CDC's Vaccine Safety Data Link, the rate of GBS within the first 3 weeks following a Janssen vaccination was 21 times higher than that after the Pfizer-BioNTech or Moderna injection. Here are some other serious side effects reported from the Janssen and AstraZeneca vaccines. Anaphylaxis, capillary leak syndrome, hives, inflammation of the spinal cord, swollen lymph glands. Inflammation of the heart can also occur in people after a COVID inoculation, particularly those based on mRNA technology, such as the Pfizer-BioNTech and Moderna vaccines. mRNA technology works by using a single-stranded molecule of RNA, which is a specific genetic sequence that instructs the human cells to make spike proteins of the SARS-CoV-2 virus. The risk of acute myocarditis seen in people following their injection with an mRNA vaccine has gained the attention of the media. Myocarditis and pericarditis, or the swelling of the heart's outer covering, can occur within a few days of the jab, particularly after the second dose. According to an article published in the journal Nature, the immune system may possibly detect the mRNA in the vaccine as a foreign substance, resulting in a series of pro-inflammatory events in the heart. Although the mRNA has been modified to reduce the chance of triggering an immune response, the body might still respond to it. A report made to the Health Ministry of Israel documented that between 1 in 3,000 and 1 in 6,000 men ages 16 to 24 who received the vaccine developed myocarditis. In Hong Kong, the incidence was found to be 1 in 2,700 in teenagers. Here are some of the other serious side effects that have been reported for the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines. Anaphylaxis, Bell's palsy, capillary leak syndrome, erythema multiforme, extensive swelling of the limb where the vaccine was received. Novavax, which adopts a different technology from the other 4 vaccines, uses a protein subunit of COVID. Although Novavax is protein-based, myocarditis and pericarditis have also been seen in those receiving it. These are a few of the other serious side effects that have been reported for Novavax. High blood pressure lasting for a few days after vaccination, hives, loss of sensation in some parts of the body, swelling of the lymph glands, tingling or prickling sensation. In Germany, Professor Harold Matthes of Berlin's Charity University Hospital said that the number of serious side effects from COVID-19 vaccines that he recorded was 40 times more than that released by the Paul-Ehrlich Institute, or PEI, an agency of the German Federal Ministry of Health. He collected a year of safety data from 40,000 vaccinated people, which showed that 1 in every 125 people had suffered such serious side effects, while records of PEI state that 0.2 out of every 1,000 people experienced a vaccine injury. Professor Mathis suggests that there could be up to 500,000 cases with serious side effects among the 179 million vaccine doses administered in Germany. Britain's yellow card reporting system records vaccine injuries. An article on COVID mRNA vaccines published in the Journal of Insulin Resistance highlighted that, in terms of the number of reports per person having received at least one dose, figures show around 1 in 120 suffering a likely adverse event that is beyond mild. The article also cites COVID data from the US Vaccine Adverse Effect Reporting System, or VAERS, stating, for example, over 24,000 deaths have now been recorded in VAERS as of March 2, 2022. 29% of these occurred within 48 hours of injection, and half within 2 weeks. The average reporting rate prior to 2020 was less than 300 deaths per annum. On October 3, 2022, the CDC released data on 10 million people who received the COVID vaccine in the US between December 14, 2020 and July 31, 2022, and participated in a program called vSafe to report adverse reactions. The users recorded 71 million symptoms, with 4.2 million being of severe severity. Approximately 782,900 needed medical care, including hospitalization after an injection, and 2.5 million, or 25%, said they had to miss school, work, or other activities for health reasons following receiving the vaccine. American attorney Oral Series law firm was responsible for having the information released and provided this analysis of the dataset.
Of the 10 million users within vSafe, 7.7% of them had to seek medical care after vaccination. That is an incredibly high percentage, it appears to me. Now that we have the data, we could see that getting the vaccine caused 25% of people who got the shot within this data set of 10 million people to miss work, to have some serious event affecting their normal life functions. Of those 4 million that reported joint pain, joint pain is an immune reaction. That is something to be concerned about after vaccination. About 2 million of those were moderate, not mild, but moderate joint pains, and 400,000 of them were severe joint pain.
On February 23, 2022, our most beloved Supreme Master Ching Hai called Supreme Master Television team members to check on their well-being and spoke about the COVID vaccines.
We discussed about the side effects of vaccination before, and you asked me, how come vaccination has side effects? I say every medicine has side effects.
Yes, that's true.
Yes.
It's just that because the vaccination is en masse, so you can see larger numbers of side effects.
Yes.
Because of the larger number of people.
Oh, right, Master. Oh, yes.
Other diseases, when they take medicine, they have side effects with only 1 or 2 people.
Yes.
Single case or maybe a single group, stuff like that. But when it comes to the vaccine, then it's a big population. So the number, of course, you can see more.
Yes, Master.
But so many effects, they don't even know, or they don't want to talk about.
Right.
A long time ago, heaven told us that rushing for the vaccine will do more harm than good.
We pray that the citizens of the world now turn toward a peaceful lifestyle with a healthy vegan diet to end the pandemic and protect future generations from diseases.
Vegan. Be a giant leader and bring the world out of darkness.
Gracious viewers, thank you for your company on today's program. Please join us again on Saturday, November 5th for Vegan, the final solution to steer away from the pandemic spiral, part 3 of 4, when we will examine the detrimental effects of COVID-19 on the body. Up next is Last Call to Turn Vegan and Repent Sincerely, part 2 of 6, on Between Master and Disciples, right after noteworthy news. May heavens always shield and guide you.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/show.